system, man. And they talk about the New World Order. Man,
There
the New
you go.
World Order been around. Man, the New World Order been around since the 30s. So,
There we go, man.
oh, the NWO, brother, New World Order. Once they took everybody gold and changed everything to Federal Reserve notes, that's the New World Order. That's when the New
Exactly.
World Order been around since 1933. So everybody waiting on the New World Order. That shit is already in place, brother. We're already slaves.
Yeah, people 100%, 100%, bro. 100%. It's talking facts.
We're already slaves, man. They trick you to go to work, and a lot of people don't know when you go to work, you actually paying yourself. All that money that you get.
Bro, that right there is fraud, bro. How can they pay you in something that's not a commodity
Exactly.
for your energy? That's fraud,
Exactly.
bro. A
So
job itself is equals fraud.
the
Any
the
job.
reason your financial institution asks for a void check and your social security number and things of such, they have just like I was explaining the sub master account and the master account. They have sub master accounts with the financial institutions. Remember, all corporations are financial institutions. They might say they're not, but there are. If they dealing in funds and transferring funds and things of such, they're financial institution. Every corporation has sub master accounts with your name on it. When you work for a company, you're paying yourself. The corporation is not paying you. They all have contracts with the government to make you work, whether you know it or not. So when you get a check,
That so that
when you get a check, that's your assets. That's the money that you're getting. Is they just basically paying you your own money out of your master account.
100%. Yeah.
Because
So when you say
all accounts are linked to real A lot of people don't know this. Every account that you open up at a financial institution, whether it's at a hospital, whether it's at a nurse, if you get old and you have to go to a nursing home, whether you open up an account at a bank or utility company, is linked to real property. Every account is linked to real property. I know that
so when
sounds
you
crazy.
So when you say that it comes from your master account, are you referring to the master account that would be associated with your estate that gets created
Yes,
when?
yes,
Okay,
yes.
okay, I
The
follow.
master account that's at the reserve. Well, I
Okay,
like to say the treasury, but
I
they
say that
they
we say the treasury in the UK as well. We also refer it to the treasury.
but
When I sent back my birth certificate in the UK, I sent it to the treasury. And
mhm.
it's funny that because the Treasury replied as well and said, we think that you're going to try and start using your accounts to start discharging debts. And I said, yeah, you're damn right I am.
Yeah, why not? It's supposed to be happening anyway. Why wouldn't I use my own? Now I appreciate you guys. This is how I tell them. I appreciate you guys creating it. I get it. You got to make money out of something, right? But
There you go.
being the fact that I'm the controller of the entity, I have a right to use those funds as I please. If I need to use those funds to discharge debt and I can't pay those debts, then you have to pay those debts. Point blank, plain and simple.
Bro,
When
your
you
approach is beautiful. You don't sound like this because a lot of people have a lot of anger to the system, and there's no need for that because
yeah,
we were the problem. We were just never educated and was told that where they're holding all of our stuff. If you come to us and tell us who you are and who you're not, you can use all of this, no problem, and
exactly. That's what I
we'll
tell
do the
people.
things that you request. There's no
It's
need to be angry and hateful and say we did this, we did it, we're committing fraud because no, we're not doing any of that fraud. We're just
now
doing
I get
what we're
I
supposed
do
to do.
I do fault them on not telling us, but now that's the age of information. Go use your
Uh-huh.
benefits as you please. Don't let these corporations tell you that they don't do remittance coupons. Don't let them tell you that that account that's on file doesn't have funds in it. It's clear as day. If you got eyes to see, you look at a piece of paper that says account number and it shows that you got a $5,000 bill and it says that it's $5,000 in the positive. Clearly, if that's account number, that means that's in an account and it has to be balanced. So if our account has to be balanced and it says $5,000 in the positive, that means it's $5,000 in the positive. I mean, that's like common sense would tell you that. So don't let these people tell you that they don't do remittance coupons and blah, blah, blah. That's bullshit. Because if you didn't do remittance coupons, why would you send me a remittance coupon? And it clearly says on a promissory note when you send it to me at the end of the month to send this back with your payment. It clearly tells you in writing. So Mrs. Chucky, don't let them people tell you that bullshit. You call Verizon and Verizon basically told you the truth. Like, hey, 7 days, blah blah blah. They lying because and honestly, the people that you spoke to probably don't even know that.
The lady,
They
the
probably
supervisor,
honestly, they
got on
probably
there and
honestly
tried to
not
shut it
just
down
intentionally
fast.
lying. Yeah, they probably intentionally not even intentionally lying to you. They probably just don't know. That's why I tell people to call the accounting office and try your best to get in contact with them and say, hey, let put it in the system that I'm sending this back as the form of payment. Point blank, plain and simple. I'm sending it back as the form of payment.
Sorry, is this for paying? This is for paying a bill. You said Verizon.
Utility bills. That could be a bill at a
Okay,
bank.
cool.
Remember, a bank is a utility bill. So that means if you got credit cards, that means if you got light water, gas, or things that
So
say they send you anything they send you remittance coupon can be used. That
okay,
has
because
for them to if they send you a remittance coupon, that means there is an account. They're not gonna send like straight. Who knows about Straight Talk phone service?
Yeah, I
nope.
know what that is.
Yeah, Straight Talk is a prepaid company. So that means that you pay at the beginning of each month, your service starts over. It's not a contract. They don't have an actual account with an account number. You buy a card or you call and just pay them straight up. Verizon, on the other hand, you signed a contract. You have an account number. It's accounting. You get what I mean? So they have to send you a remittance coupon. Straight Talk is not gonna send you a remittance coupon in the mail because they don't have an actual account.
So I got a
Everything.
question. I know it's been like a lot of controversy about rent. So my rental company, they make us pay through a portal, but we also get bills like a statement every month
Is
too.
that's what I wanted to talk about too. Okay. Some cases you have regular people like us that buy buildings and buy homes and actually, take cash and check payments, you deposit money orders or whatever case be. But some cases you have corporations. Sounding to me, you got a corporation that owns owns property, right? They have an online portal and they also send you remittance coupons in the mail, correct?
Well, I didn't get it in the mail. I get it online to like my email.
Does it have a remittance? Someone take pictures
Yeah, it
of them. Do
got
they
the
have it?
remittance at the bottom. That's
Exactly.
why I was asking
Call
about
them,
it.
call them and tell them they have a submaster account in your name. If there's a
Mm-hmm.
remittance, remember if there's a remittance coupon, there's a submaster account. So call them and tell them to start sending your remittance because if you try to download it offline, it's going to be smaller than the actual check. The
Mm-hmm.
remittance coupon is going to be smaller. So call them and tell them that you want to start receiving your billing statements in the mail. Point blank, plain and simple. Don't tell them why. Just tell them that you want to start receiving your billing statements in the mail. And then once you receive your billing statement, you call the corporation, the corporate office, ask to speak to the accounting office. Let them know that you will be sending a remittance coupon back as the form of payment. The remittance coupon and the billing statement. Remember, the billing statement is a security. You will be sending that back as the form of payment.
Okay.
It's quite
Thank you.
simple.
I just wanted to make sure. I know everybody was like, no, you can't do that for rent. I'm like, well, if they send me a statement, it's a remittance
Yeah,
coupon. Why can't I
you
use
can
it?
do it for rent if it's a corporation and you actually had to get
Yeah.
them your social. Yeah, if you have
Yeah.
do
That's
you
what I
have an
had to
account
do.
number? Do you have
Yeah.
an
I had
account
to do
number?
all that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you have an account number with them, if things to say, see, housing. Have you ever heard of housing apartments?
No.
Well, low income apartments, basically like that, right?
Oh, okay.
You ever
Yeah.
heard? That's
I heard of
basically
them.
what they're doing. They open up, they
Mm,
get your social security, food stamps, same thing. With food stamps and any type of assistance that you get from the government, you're using your own funds. They're not giving you anything. They're not giving you a damn thing. You're using your own. If you get food stamps, those are your funds from your estate. If you
yeah.
get
I did that little food stamps letter. They turned my link off. They told me I had to go to like a work something to go get a job.
what you send them?
I sent them, EBT letter that got all the laws and stuff on there,
Oh
and I had
no, no,
tailored it.
no, 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 no. You finesse the game. That's what I tell
Okay.
you. Don't never let these people know that you know something. Because if
Mhm.
you get them in the situation and then after that you let them know something. It's finesse. Just like when
Yeah,
you
I
going to
had,
get a
but see,
car.
that was the thing. I had got it, and then I sent the letter later, so I didn't send it right away. I sent it like a little bit after, and
Let
then
me
they
ask you a
approved
question.
it. Uh
Do
huh.
do do food stamps send billing statements?
Nope.
They don't.
Nuh-uh.
Mm, mm, intriguing. Well, that's your funds. I mean, like they can't stop you from getting your own funds.
Yeah.
That's just point blank, plain and simple, man. They can't
Yeah,
stop it.
they
So
want my
they can try to stop it, but they cannot stop it. Mr.
yeah,
David,
they
how you doing today, sir? Mr.
Doing good,
Michael.
man.
Mr. Michael sitting in the background quiet. I respect it though, my brother.
Well, how you doing, man?
Oh, I'm
Mr.
all
Davis.
right, man. I'm just Mr. David. Perfect
Yeah.
example. Mr. David sent his information in, and what did they tell you, Mr. David?
They didn't tell me nothing. I didn't get no response or nothing. You talking
You
about
sent
on
you
the
sent
remittance?
your
On the
remittance
remittance?
coupon.
Yeah, I didn't hear that. They sent me another bill.
Okay, Miss I keep forgetting your name, Miss Chucky. Tell
yeah.
him what Verizon told you.
That they received the payment, and that it takes 7 days to clear to pen. It's pending right now. And it takes 7 days to clear.
That just to let you know, Mr. David, that they tell you anything. They try their best to, and the people. Some of these people don't know. That's why you have to call and talk to the correct people. Some people do know. Some people don't know. You know.
And see,
Well,
I told them, I didn't tell them right off back it was a remittance coupon. I told them that I sent in a bill. I mean, I sent in my payment through the mail and I wanted to make sure it was received. And she, at first, they all tell me no, they don't see it, they didn't get it. And I said, well, can you check a little deeper because I sent in a payment about 2.5 weeks ago, and you should have received it. And they went in there and found something, two different accounts for me, not Verizon, but another utility company. And they were like, yeah, well, we received this. They didn't tell me what kind of payment it was. They just told me that they had X amount pending to my account, a
But
payment that's
is it?
pending to my account.
But is it the amount that you sent in?
Yes, it is. And she
Exactly.
asked me what kind of payment it was. I said it was. That's when I let them know afterwards, after she verified with me that they received the payment in the mail, because I don't send payments in the mail. I usually pay with like a debit card or something.
Exactly. That's how they get us. That's how they get us.
Right.
that's how.
And
That's how they.
I also asked, should I continue sending in my bill remittance? They told me yes. So that was Verizon. She was like, yes, continue to send those. It just know that it takes 7 days to post to your account once we receive it.
Exactly. So
So,
there you
question.
go. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Miss
Um,
Shay. That's Miss Shay from Cali.
hey, now, so are we able to get our money back from the bills that we have paid?
I mean, you could, but no, because you didn't send a remittance coupon in. So, it's kind of like, and if you could get it, it's only going back 6 months. You can only go back, matter of fact, 60 days. So, yeah, it's kind of shaky on that. So, if you didn't send those remittance coupons back, they've already claimed them. They've already
Mm.
claimed them. And, you have to be, it's a little shaky on that. So, did you send, when you paid, did you send remittance coupons back?
Not every payment. I just started this process.
What, whichever ones you sent the what I found, whichever ones you sent the remittance coupon back, yes, you can get your payment back if you sent cash with them.
Okay.
Honestly, to be honest, the security that you send back, the billing statement is like a check, so they actually supposed to send you that back. So we'll talk about that later on how to get that done when they accept them and everything goes through. They supposed to send you a check back because they pulled the funds from your
Oh,
master. Exactly.
I I
And you're
had asked Xfinity about why they didn't send me like a letter saying they didn't accept it, and why they didn't send me my remittance coupon back. The supervisor argued with me. I was on the phone with them for like an hour, and I was like, well, is there a problem? I was like, I
no, this is
don't
what you do. This is what
understand.
you do. This is what you do. How long has it been since you sent that remittance coupon?
It's been about going on 3 weeks now.
Okay, you call and ask to speak to the accountant office and ask them did they received your payment. That's what
Okay.
you do.
Cause
Same
I
thing
end
with
up
you, Miss.
having to
Same
pay. They
thing with
talking
you,
about,
Mr. David. We got to get in contact with the accountant office. Wherever we're gonna have to contact the accountant office to try to get them to, you know, get in contact with them. Because if you sent them a remittance coupon and they
mm-hmm.
didn't send it back, they have to send it
That,
back. because it's a
Well,
form of payment. If they don't accept it, they have to send it
I
back. That's a
think
check. You can't just
right.
take my check and then not send it back. You get
Right.
what
I
I
think the
mean?
problem is we send it to the wrong place. Where they say
Oh,
send it to is like a payment processing center. It's just there's no, I guess, upper level management working there.
But
It's
that's
not like
where I sent
accounting.
mine to.
yeah,
I
you
sent
gotta send
mine.
you send it to wherever they remember when you get that promissory note. Remember your billing statement, your due bill is a promissory note. They making you an offer saying, "Hey, you owe us this," and you accept it. I accept it, right? It's a promissory note. So everything
Hmm.
that they say on that contract, remember that you get a different contract. It's a contract. It's contract law. You have to do everything they tell you to do. If they tell you to send it to the address, you send it to the exact address they tell you to send it to.
And
Point
that's
blank,
Yeah,
what I
plain,
but
simple.
the
did.
thing is, the employees that work there, they don't know nothing about that.
But
That's the
it's they
problem.
still have to push it through because I sent
They
mine to wherever they put on that paper. I use the envelope that they send and I send it right back to them.
Right.
That's all you have to do. Pay to the order.
Yeah, pay to the order of you sign in the left
Yeah,
corner and that's it.
Yes, ma'am.
that's what I did, but I don't know.
What we'll do,
They
Mr.
What you
Brian,
mean? What you mean you sign it in the left hand corner? I'm
the left
just
hand
confused.
corner
sound
at the
like a
top of the left
signature.
hand corner.
I ain't put no special signature like
So
like
you're
the
not signing the
codes or
back?
nothing. Huh?
You're not signing the back of it?
No, you
No,
don't. You're not paying it. So you when you're not getting the money for the or the credit for
Right, because
the
you just writing
payment.
the check.
Right. So it's literally like you doing a money order. You never sign the back of the money order for it to be cash through, basically, so to speak. You
you
just sign the
can,
front.
you can, but it really don't matter. Like you don't, and a beneficiary signature, your signature is a beneficiary signature. You don't have to put beneficiary after the name and just sign your name like you normally been signing it your whole life in like a signature and send it back. You don't have to put beneficiary of the trust or
Does it
UCC
matter
law.
where
You
you
don't have,
signing at?
sir. I mean,
Does it
ma'am.
matter where you signing at?
Sign it at the bottom of the billing statement. You put pay to the order of. That's what I would do. Pay to the order of the company, and then sign your name at the bottom of the billing statement. So
And make sure you don't rip them apart either, because then they invalid.
exactly, you ripping the contract. That's what they try to get you. Take like if you sending it back with cash or credit, then you rip it off. But if you're not, you leave that attached to that billing statement because that's a contract. If you rip the contract is void. It has no juice. That's what I was trying to explain to y'all a while ago. You never rip a contract. You rip a contract, it's over with. Mr. No Name, no name, no name. Who are you? Who are you? Talk to me. I don't see your name. I'm a little shaky. What's going on? I need some verbal. Who Miss
You good, bro. Check
I
invited
invited
me, bro.
him.
all right,
I
yeah,
put
yeah,
your
no
car on the
name.
list. You good,
Hey,
bro.
no name. You look a little shaky. I like the fans up here now. Just
Oh
joking.
well, bro. Nah, you good, bro. More power to the people, bro. I say, God, I ain't on no BS. You
I
good.
know, I know, brother. I know, brother. I'm just joking around. I like to joke around.
Nah, 1,000 for tapping in. 1,000. When I be lurking, I just be, you know what I'm saying, getting out the information so we can go the right
All right,
direction with this.
exactly, my brother.
Nah,
But
I
yeah,
appreciate
man.
it.
So anybody else got any more questions? I'm gonna do this on a daily basis. So
Hey,
y'all ain't gotta rush it. Just if it's something that you want to ask, go research it. Then to come back and ask, that's fine too. So I'm gonna start.
so
Miss Didi told me to start doing this every day. Miss Didi be getting me amped up. Miss Didi be like, "You need to do it. You the one. You the
Thank
one
you,
said
Miss Didi.
this." I'm
Hey, do
kind
you
of
have to do any of this through a trust at all, or just on your signature?
no. Let me explain something about this trust that everybody is trying to get in control of. You don't. They're first of all, let me explain something to you guys. Everybody want to go for the gusto, right? Everybody want to go get all this money that's in this account that's held at the reserve, and you're not gonna get it. They're not gonna give it to you. You can do everything you want to do in your power to try to get these funds. They're either gonna set your ass up or they're gonna close that bitch down. You ain't gonna get it. So my advice to y'all, leave that trying to get in control of the trust shit and just open up accounts. Like I told you, all these accounts that you open up are already linked to you. When you open up a bank account, that account number is already linked to you. That's why they tell you that account number, within that account number, it has your information in it. When you have a credit card or a debit card, look at your card and start putting them numbers together and tell me them numbers don't match to your name, your birthday, the year you was born, your mother, even your mother's birthday. Whoever signed that birth certificate, their information is going to be in your account numbers, and yours, and your credit card numbers. So don't like this shit is the trust is already there. So you
So
receiving
I
you
asked,
receiving your trust estate when you open up accounts at businesses, you're already receiving you're receiving funds from your estate.
so
So
what is your overall protection come from though? Because see, we're doing this, we're building, we're getting things paid, but they still have jurisdiction over you. You getting your status corrected and then just operating normally. That's why I'm asking about the trust.
who okay, who has jurisdiction over you? I like this conversation.
Oh,
Let's have this
okay.
Guys,
conversation.
So I, I, I
Let's
took
have
I
this
took my
conversation.
jurisdiction
this is a
back.
good topic. Good
I
topic.
took my jurisdiction back by getting my birth certificate authenticated through the Department of State by the Secretary of State, which is number one to the president. So I had a criminal case against me, and I got it dropped when I turned in this paperwork. They dismissed it. So basically, I'm like on a do not detain, do not question list. So now that that got that going, now I can start building and get things taken care of. So that's why I was asking about how do you move first?
Well, I'm gonna say this. You're not like, are you trying to get from under the federal government or the state government? Because you
Both.
can't
Actually,
do
I did both. I was authenticated through the state and through the federal. And so I
so.
actually ended up taking my paperwork down and getting it recorded in the county so
Okay,
that
let me
they
explain
they,
something about
they
you, the natural
recognize that.
person. Okay, it's two of you. It's two of you.
Yep.
It's your natural person and it's your legal person, right? Two people, two different persons, right? You, the natural person, controls the legal person. You're not the owner, because remember, you didn't create it. The government created it, but you're the controller of it. They give you right to be the controller of the entity, right? But being by the laws, you still labeled as the entity because there's nothing that's saying that you're not the entity, right? So you did right by going by, hey, I am the natural person, so you can separate yourself from the natural and the entity. Now, you don't have to do that in every situation because there's ways to do so. You can actually go get another social security number for your natural person. That's another story. We can talk about that later, but you can go get another social security number for your natural person to work. That's it for your natural person. And you can actually, you have a certificate of live birth. Your certificate of live birth is like a identification for your natural person. Your birth certificate is for your entity. You know what I mean? So you
Mm.
have a certificate of live birth and you have a birth certificate. You have two of them. Your certificate of live birth is for the live birth, the actual person that's living and breathing. That's your identification to be a natural person. That's why you can take your live birth certificate to a courtroom and say, "Hey, this is me. I don't know who that is."
Right.
Or I control the entities. This is who you looking for right here on my identification card. But this is on my live birth certificate is me. Your live birth certificate is not going to have your name in all caps. Your birth certificate will, but your live birth certificate is natural. And your birth certificate is, legal. You get what I mean? So a lot of people be doing all this. I mean, if if it work, it work. I don't knock nobody doing what they do, but you don't have to go about doing all that because what'll happen, you will forfeit your title as the controller of the entity. You get what I mean? And you won't be able to use it as you please.
How would you forfeit if you actually control all variations of the
Because you
spelling of
because
your
you're
name?
telling them you're not because you basically giving them information stating that you're not a United States of America citizen. You're not a state citizen. You can't even conduct business like that if you're not like some form of a citizen. You know what I mean? You have to be a
So a
citizen.
foreign national, depending on what state you're in, that's the country. That's what you were talking about earlier.
Yeah,
That's the
you
country you're
already
from,
you already a
and
foreign
you
national. You already
and you
a
have a
foreign national.
constitutional right. You have constitutional rights. What I dropped off into the chat actually breaks that down a lot further and tells you what rights you have. The United States of America actually is obligated to protect the national that's born because they deceived you by your birth certificate. They tricked you into their little 10-mile square radius area and saying that this is part of the United States full territory. They lied. So
No, the United
you
States of America is the states, and the United States is the corporate. United
well
States is
they
yeah.
they basically trafficked you into their system. Like
Yeah.
the reason why I started getting into more of this is because I found out that you could get a Panama birth certificate if you were born before 1979. So how is it that
Yeah,
you can have a
my mama got. I went to the back. My mama's Social Security card got, made in Panama, in Puerto Rico, Panama, one of them. So,
hmm
yeah. So she born 1954. So that is true. But
So how is it that you can have
what?
two
Let me
different
ask you a
birth
question. Let me
certificates
ask you a
though?
question. Let me ask you a question. Cause I always talk to sovereign citizens, and I don't be getting it. Like in my mind, I don't get it. What
Uh,
are you trying to accomplish? Are you trying to be a sovereign citizen?
okay, so I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna accomplish because I've already did it.
What are you
I want to
trying
be
to
able to
accomplish?
drive. I want to be able to travel across any state without the harassment of agents from the state
You
level and the federal level. Now,
is
if I'm able to have that done and still have my benefits, which I'm still able to have benefits because I have my own company too, operate under an EIN number. I
There
have,
you go.
you know what I'm saying? So I have the structure down right. Now I'm just trying to get this. Now I'm trying to get this banking part down so that I understand it completely because the banking system is false too.
Yeah, the
So
banking
if I,
system, the banking system is fucked up. The banking system is fucked up, man. That's why I was explaining them about, in the system, they tell you that it's not a joint, it's an individual account. But when you open up accounts at financial institution, it's actually a joint account. It's not, it's never that's why they say accounts with it. Have you ever
Mhm,
read your contract and they always put accounts even when you open up a checking account?
mhm.
But isn't
Accounts with an S.
the like United States like backed by banking? Like everything is backed by banking.
Everything is backed by banking. That's what banks control the United States of America. Point blank. I'm gonna say this: the Federal Reserve. Really, if you really want to be honest, the government is the banks. They tell you the banks control the United States. Who you think control the Federal Reserve? You think the Federal Reserve controls the Treasury? No, the Treasury controls the Federal Reserve. That's the reason the Federal Reserve, they try their best to make themselves look good. They create bullshit money and put it. Don't you know the most money got printed between 2019 and 2022? The most
Mm.
money that's ever been, all the money that's in circulation right now, 80% of it was printed between 2019 and 2022. Public information.
So what
They,
about, not to switch subjects, but what about the topic of like child support? Like that's
child
fraudulent
support is
too
illegal because guess where they pulling them? Guess where they're pulling those funds from?
from my little account.
Not the parents. They're pulling those funds from the child. They're pulling those funds from the child's estate. I did my research on it. All those funds that
Facts.
they're paying those children, and well, that's why they ask you for your children's social security number, and they're pulling those funds from your children's estate. So when
So
a
how will
parent gets a
somebody go
payment for a
about
child
stopping it?
finesse and just discharge it, offset it, like I did.
So
I just recently did it.
I need more information on that.
Yeah, I got you. I'm gonna take care of y'all.
I need more information on that one.
You on child support?
No, but it's
Man,
another
I am, bro. I
situation.
appreciate you on that.
Already, man. But yeah, the child. I know we all. I just got. Man, I just. I've been dealing with that shit a minute, bro. I just got done offsetting that shit. Like, how you going? First of all, don't never show up to court. If they tell you come to court, they can't put no warrant out for your arrest if you don't show up to court. That's where you get them. Oh, they're gonna, brother. If you show up to court, they're gonna put your ass on child support regardless. Just like I didn't show up to court, they put me on child support. I ain't signed no paper saying I agreed. For there to be a debt, I have to sign something saying I agree to pay. I ain't agreed to pay shit.
Right, and nothing been signed to say like,
I,
oh,
I haven't showed up to court.
yeah,
I haven't agreed to pay nothing. So all this putting a warrant out on my arrest, you can't do that. You could try to do it. Why y'all guys ain't never
exactly.
did it? Well, why I ain't pay? They say I owed them $20,000. Now I take care of my child. I don't want y'all to think I have my child all the time. But you know how the mother gets mad at you at the early, and then she too lazy to go take you off, and it's just a long story. But anyway, she you know I take care of my child. First of all, I have receipts to prove it to the judge. Like, here you go. Go to the courthouse, not the judge, because I'm not going to see the judge. Because once you go see the judge, you agreeing to pay. I'm sending y'all this shit. The child support people who say I don't owe y'all nothing. How I owe you $20,000? Make it make sense. Show me how. You can't show me. You can't show me in a contract where I agreed to pay this, and I don't agree to pay it. Point blank, plain and simple. They can't.
And
They can
remember,
tell you that
people, a
they.
court is also a bank.
Yeah, everything. All these corporate entities are banks, brother. All of
All of
them.
them. But
Courtrooms are
like
banks.
the word court itself directly links to a bank. You know, it's mad.
Exactly. It's
The
all
court
about
itself. So
funds.
that's why you have in the UK you have masters of the High Court, and you have the clerks. The clerk is like a clerk you deal with when you walk into a bank. You have the bank clerk,
A
and you
bank
have
teller.
the
A
court
bank
clerk.
teller. Exactly.
Exactly, same thing. It's in front of you. It's not hidden. You know.
Right. And I guarantee you, brother, they create court cases in the background with your name on. Bro, I've been doing so much research. They'll create court cases
100%.
in the background with your name tied to it, and you ain't got nothing to do with it.
Oh, 100%.
They'll change
Just
one
like
part.
you said,
They'll change one
when they
part of your
summon
name.
you to court and you don't
That's
show
ex-
up, they're like, "Well, we're going to do it all for you. Sweet. Don't
that's
come.
ex-
Exactly.
Even better. We're doing it. We're doing it. This thing's running regardless whether you're turning up or not. Done."
I'm already
Exactly.
knowing.
Just like
that's
child
why you want
support,
to have
on
your
the other hand.
status corrected so they don't mess with you like that. And then you
Man,
can
your
get
status
that
is already corrected.
adjustment.
Remember, all this is going in your legal persons. All this your natural person has nothing to do with anything goes on in a courtroom, a bank, any financial institution. There's nothing in this world right now but your birth certificate with your natural person's name on it. Guarantee
So
you.
my boy just got kidnapped on Friday by the police, right? So they've just kidnapped him and they're going to keep him for a while. Now they'll keep him as long as they can to try and get his name. As soon as they've got his name, they can charge his estate. But until they don't get his name, they're not that they'll keep him and try and bully him to give up his details, to give up who
Exactly.
his legal fiction. As soon as he gives it up, they're like, perfect. Now you're being charged. Everyone's getting paid. Go home.
Exactly.
But he goes
Exactly.
in there
You
and
can't.
he says, right, I'm the lawful executor. Does anyone have any objection to me appearing in this capacity? Because in the UK, in the civil procedure rules, which is to do with the court rules, it says you can appear in any capacity you want. So I'm appearing as the person to execute the law. So the
I'm the
judge,
advocate.
if
I'm
you
the
want to stay here,
advocate.
you can. But regardless, you've got to do what I say. Then they say,
Exactly.
okay, well, where do you live? Well, supreme law states I live in my body. I do believe I'm a living spirit.
Yep.
And straight away,
Yep.
these judges
That's
do not
exactly.
like it. They do
They
not
don't
like
like
it.
that. They
And then
don't like it
and
because
then
we
they
don't
go,
supposed to
all
know
right,
that.
cool. But where do you live then? And then you go, well, I live in my body, in my temple. And they're like, no, I'm done. Get him out. Get him out. Get him out of the room. They don't want that. It's
Yeah, and I
madness,
always
man.
ask, is it a court of records? If it's not a court of records, case dismissed. Point blank, plain and simple.
Exactly. Straight
If it's
up.
not a
Straight
court,
up.
if it's
So
you always ask them when you show up to court for any criminal case, as long as you didn't hurt anybody. Now, if it's drugs, tickets, is this a court of records? If it's not a court of records, case dismissed. The judge gonna get the fuck up and walk out the courtroom. I
facts.
guarantee
Facts
you.
is what's on the record cannot be denied.
Exactly. If this a court of records, if it's not, case dismissed. Point blank,
In
plain and simple.
in the
So
UK,
what about in cases of
another thing that they do. Sorry, just quick, people. I don't know if they do this in the US as well. They probably do, 100%. But you go into court and you need to check that the clerk is in the court because obviously, if you're going to court anyway to get something done, and when I say go to court, I don't mean responding to a summons. If somebody summoned you
You
to court,
conducting business. We conducting
yeah,
business at it.
you're
Yeah.
conducting business. So if you're going to the court to do business, you need to make sure that the court clerk is in that room because they hide them from you. Because the judge knows he can't be seen touching the money or messing with the money. That's the clerk's job. So before you say anything, you say to the judge, I do believe you know the whereabouts of the court clerk, and it will only take you a minute or two to return them to their post. That court clerk will come out quicker than you've ever seen before, I'm telling you. They'll fly
Yep.
out to that post. Then you say,
Yep.
boom, now we can start.
Right.
I was gonna ask, what about in the cases of people that's been convicted of felonies and then they get caught with guns and then they try to convict them of another felony? But how would they protect themselves in those situations?
Birth certificate. Live birth certificate. How they protect themselves. That's what I keep telling y'all. Y'all guys be live birth certificate. Everybody want to talk about the birth certificate, but what about your live birth certificate? Your live. All crimes are commercial. Every crime is
Mm-hmm.
commercial unless you hurt a U.S. citizen. It all you can pay. You can be in prison and pay a bond and get out of jail. Did you guys know that?
Yeah, I
You
know
can
That's
be
that.
in prison.
ridiculous, man. That's
You can pay
ridiculous.
a bond. Always pay your bond. That's my first advice. If you go to court and there's anything to do with cash being transferred, pay the full. Not gonna call a bail's bond. Pay the full bond in case dismissed. Point blank, plain and simple. If you pay the full bond, case dismissed. If
But
you
when you
call a
say pay,
bail's bond,
you mean discharge, right? Discharge or settle
offset.
down.
It's offset. Put it like that.
Offset.
Off.
Okay.
I hate to say discharge because it ain't nothing never discharges. It's offset.
Yeah, I hear that. I hear that. Yeah.
What about for people who like get court cases for like tickets, like quote unquote insurance and different stuff like that?
Take the bill to the clerk and pay it off. Tell them to print
Mm,
you a billing statement out.
okay. Have you heard anything about the assumed name, like the assumed name certificates?
The who?
Assumed name certificates, like becoming like a controller, like a holder over the names, like getting a certificate done. Been seeing a
Your,
lot about that.
your birth certificate is an assumed name. Your
So they claim that.
your identification card is an assumed name. Your social security
Mhm.
card is an assumed name. Because you can assume that they assume that you are that person unless you have your live birth certificate. Like my brother said, what you say, correcting your status. You know what I mean? Like your certificate of live birth is you, the living person. That's who you are. That's your identification. Go look up the difference between a live birth certificate and a birth certificate. When y'all have time and really research it, really sit down and actually research what a live birth certificate is and a birth certificate. It's two different things. Have you ever heard of the birth of a corporation? Have you guys ever heard that term?
For sure, definitely.
Yeah, your birth
Yeah.
certificate is the birth of the corporation. Your certificate of live birth, LIVE, live birth, is you. And that's your identification. This me. I don't know who that is. Now I control them, but I don't know where they at. But I can give you this right here, and you can do what you do with it. You know what I mean? Like, but that's not me. Point blank, plain and simple. And show me in law where that's me. Now, do I control it? Yeah, I control it, but that's not me. So I can't be held accountable for something that he got going on in the commerce world. You get what I mean? That's why you never want to own it. Because once you own it, once you call yourself the owner of that entity, you can be held accountable for anything it has going on in the commercial world. That's why I be telling people want to be like they want to own everything. No, control it. Don't ever own it because once you own it, you become responsible for any debt that entity has, you know, made. So they can finesse you to pay if if they can finesse you to pay like a mortgage. If you was in control, if you owned your entity, you wouldn't be able to offset the debt. Point blank, plain and simple. The government has to offset it. You know why? Because they're the owners of that entity. People that they control, no, they're not the owner of you, the natural person, but they're the owners of your entity. But they give you permission to be able to control it. You get what
Can
I
you
mean?
talk a little more about that? Like about the mortgage portion? Like for instance, if somebody has a house, got a mortgage, how don't like you already got that, you already own your house, right?
You already own your house. Your deed states that you own your house. The county clerk will tell you that you own your house. No one owns your house but you. Once you sign your name on that contract, which is the application, remember the application that you signed to get approved for extension of your own credit is the real contract. The promissory note that you sign is linked to your contract that you sign with your social security name. That's linked to your account. That's how they get the account number because they have to use your information to pull your account that's already pre-created. People think their account numbers are random. No, those account numbers are not random. Those account numbers are already created. They pull them from the treasury and place them in the financial institution, whoever you your trust. This is how they do it. You come sign an application, right? You see a house you want. You come sign the application. You the beneficiary, right? Everybody know you're a beneficiary, right? You come sign the application. You say, hey, I want this house, blah, blah, blah. Okay, they send that information to the Social Security Administration and the Treasury. They say, hey, we are trustees for this person. We're trustees, right? A trustee is a person, but you're still labeled a minor too. So remember that, keep that in mind. We're the trustees for this minor, right? He wants this house. So we can be agents for him to make this transaction to be able to pull these funds in an account so he can offset the charge for the house. But they don't let you know this. So this is what they do. They receive the funds in the account, hold them as trustees at your bank. Every time you pay them in cash, that account number goes down, right? Who can agree with me on that?
Yeah.
Every time you pay them, the number goes down. You know why the number goes down?
Mm-mm.
Because they're pulling the exact money that you pay them in cash, the principal amount, they're pulling credits at that account, the same exact amount. Every time you pay to say your mortgage is $800, $900, or $1,000, $1,200, you pay them $1,200 in cash, check, or credit, they're going to pull the same amount out that account. Now, in the regular consumer's mind, they're thinking that they're paying out of it, like paying, actually you're paying twice. You're paying with cash, and then they're pulling the funds out the principal account, making it seem like it's going lower and lower and lower, when actually it is going lower because they're pulling funds out of it. You get what I mean? Do y'all get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So how would one go about like to stop the having to make the payments?
Offset the debt. It's already offset. Let them know cease and assist. I ceased and assist I want to cease and assist on any communication or transaction that you guys have with me and you over a debt that I don't owe. Now, if you want to, I have to go deeper into that paperwork and shit, but it's possible. Cease and assist. Hold on, who's the shit I just did? Mr. Brian, he probably at work. I did Mr. Brian's for him, and we got that taken care of. But it's quite simple, but it's just the paperwork. I did Mr. Brian's for him the other day, so we'll go
Okay,
deeper
I'm
into that.
asking because I want to get my mama process done for her. So that's why I'm asking questions. So
Okay, well, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. I got you. I'll
okay,
take care of you. Take care of you.
thank you.
Who is King Supreme? It said, can anyone get on the live? Hold on, let me send him God damn it. Mr. King Supreme. I could have swore everybody was on here. So people can't just join in that live?
I
I
don't
did.
know what's wrong with people's stuff. Everybody should be able to join in though.
I think they be scared. They scared.
You
Y'all,
scared them?
if y'all scared, I can say I'm scared. I apologize. But nah, I don't be trying to scare nobody, man. I'm a nice guy, man. I ain't that type of guy. How did I scare him? What I do? Talking shit.
Talking
Yeah.
the truth, brother.
Everybody
Talking
can't
the
handle talking
truth.
shit.
I'm a shit talker. I'm from Arkansas. I'm from the country, so I talk shit. It's just what I do. That's just how we
The right
communicate
way.
down there. Now, if you sensitive, then you ain't gonna be at it. Like I talk shit. That's what my mama. About what?
About what? She said she saw you try to call
I ain't trying to call her.
this morning.
I ain't trying to call my mom.
She said
Tell my mama, hold on, I need to talk to her. She gonna see now or something. Hello. If you say, what's going on, mama? You all right? You say I tried to call you. I ain't called you this morning, but if you want to talk, just say that. If you want to talk to your son, just say that, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm right here for you. Yeah, what you doing? I'm on the phone doing a video, a video chat with my group. I'm gonna call you back like in 5 minutes, if that's okay with you, mom. You the queen, whatever you say, girl. You want me to get out here right now? Now I call you back in 5 minutes, okay? I love you. When last time they came clean that pool?
Mhm.
They need to come. That shit looking like it's getting. They need to come on back.
He come everywhere.
All right. Hello. Hello. I'm talking to you guys in the group.
We still here.
Yeah, we're here.
I'm
We're
sorry.
here.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But yeah, I talk stuff, man. I don't be meaning no harm, man. I'm not that type of guy. I'm not no asshole like that. I'm an asshole, but not like that. I'm an asshole to the corporations, man. That's what you Miss Didi. If they really want to see me talk shit, let's call one of these corporate offices, huh? Let's do that, huh? Miss Didi, you on the phone?
I'm here. I'm here.
What are you doing?
I'm cooking.
What are you cooking?
I'm some meatballs, string beans, potato salad. Um, what else I got? Some ribs. I'm having a. It's called a backyard booze. I forgot what it's called. Look, I'm trying to think. Backyard booze, uh, blankets and boots.
Oh, okay. Oh, speaking of cooking, everybody see how God works. That's why everything you keep all if you do now. I'm not telling you you don't have to pay taxes. You don't have to pay federal taxes.
Mhm.
Okay, so if you working, you don't have to pay but if you do, it can be like a savings account for you. Remember that if you choose to stay working, Miss Didi, turn your thing
Okay,
off now.
I am. I'm
Come
sorry.
on now. I'm just joking. But anyway, if you work and you pay federal taxes, you don't have to. But I don't pay tax because I don't need them. But it can be a savings account for you. A lot of people don't know that every dollar that you spend, you can get back in your tax refund. That's why they call it a tax refund check, because they're refunding you all the funds that you spent that year. Now, if you want to know how to do that, we'll talk about it later. But when you go to let's take it for example. When you go to the corner stores, the gas stations, when you pay for your food, what do they do? What do they do with the receipt?
Use it to access your funds and
Exactly. They keep
make the payment for you using your own money. And then you then give them
ex-
extra money.
exactly. So what they do, they keep it's a debit and credit, right? It's a debit and credit. Your receipt will be credit back to you. The debit part of the receipt they keep. It's two receipts that come out. So what they do, they keep your receipt and theirs and file it on their taxes. And they get all that money back dollar for dollar. So every dollar that you spend, I don't give a fuck if it's $2. I don't give a fuck if it's a quarter. Keep all that's if you choose to pay taxes. All the receipts that you have and the money that you spend, you can get back on your taxes dollar for dollar. Every dollar that you spend, because we don't have to pay taxes are like we giving the government a loan. That's why they have the public debt. Have you ever heard of public debt? That's why they have the money that you spend at stores is a part of the public debt. The public debt is what the government owes you. What the government owes you. So
Bro,
keep all your.
just to ask, are you using the 1099 A's to
I
deal
don't.
with
I
this?
don't.
Yeah.
I don't use 1099 A's.
Okay, because I'm still to meet one person who uses the 1099 forms correctly. So I've been taught how to use the 1099 forms over here in the UK, and
Yeah,
I've
I
seen
don't,
it
I don't
work.
use them because the
But
1099A is just the 1099A is for information purposes. It's so the IRS.
it's for the accountant for the
Yes, it's
yeah.
just when
So
titles are transferred and things such. It has no buying power. It
yeah.
has no
So I
like. So that's anybody in here that's talking about 1099As that were thinking about using them. Nothing. Anybody that filed a 1099A is going to get accepted. Everybody get accepted because it's nothing more than a receipt. It's just for information purposes only. But if you use that and give them information, and try to get money back on them, you're going to get in trouble because they call that fraud. You don't remember,
yes.
guys. We not trying. We got all these millions behind us. It's more than one way to skin a cat. So don't try to go about doing things the fraudulent way. It's always a legal procedure to make shit happen. So
So I was
1099
using the
OIDs. The only
yeah.
reason you can use 1099 OID unless you have an EIN. Now
That's
you
what I
can
got. Yeah. So
now you
yeah.
can finesse them. Now you can finesse them. I mean, they've been
Well,
finessing us, right? You can
hold
finesse
on.
them.
So how is it finessing them
No, I'm
if
talking
there's
about
an
the 1099 OID. Like I know some people that finesse the government with 1099. You got to have an EIN and you got to make it seem like you done business with somebody. It got to be some type of business transaction going on. People. You know how people are, but that's another story. But they call it 1099 OID fraud, and it will send you to federal prison. So
Yeah,
be
I
careful.
heard that. I heard that. Because at the end of the day, if you're doing fraudulent transactions and acting like, well, if all of the money is ending up at the it's all revenue, right? So if we're dealing with the IRS, who deal with revenue and everything, that the revenue of the whole public debt, and we're adding into that public debt from our trusts, then I don't understand how there can actually be fraud.
You said, how can it be fraud?
How can it be fraudulent if you're filing 1099 OID, 1099 A's for the. So from my understanding, as you said, all of the money that we use, we pay for stuff. Eventually, it all goes to the IRS, right? They collect all revenue.
All right, let me ask you
'Cause
this. Let me ask you this before you continue. What is a 1099A and what is it used for?
it's for using for getting abandoned property. Anything held in, for example, escrow, you can use 1099As to get that money.
Property, real property,
Money is also property.
real property. Go look. Now, this is what I want you to do. Go on the IRS website because they
Yep.
can't not lie to you on the IRS website. Go on the IRS website right now as we speak, and I want you to
Okay.
read out their explanation on what a 1099A is because they're the law, so they cannot lie to you. So.
Uh-huh.
What about in
Acquisition or
cases
abandonment
of
of secured property.
Mm-hmm. Keep going.
And so, okay, I'll keep going. Right. So, file form 1099A for each borrower. If you lend money in connection with your trade or business and in full or partial satisfaction of the debt, you would acquire an interest in property that is security for the debt, or you have reason to know that the property has been abandoned. So that's why I use it, because I know that my money that I've spent and been used is going to go into escrow and it's held in escrow until they take it. And
Now,
they normally take it after 3 years. Sorry, go ahead.
now you're right about the escrow part, but let me ask you this question: who you know personally can show
I've
you
done, bro.
proof that they? No, no,
I've
no.
seen.
I want you to. Nah. I'm asking you a question, like man to
Okay.
man, and I want the truth.
Bro.
Who,
I swear.
who
I don't
have you?
swear on God, but
Who
I
do you
promise
know?
you,
No, no. Who do you know personally
the
that has
guy who
sent a
teaches me,
1099?
bro. The guy who I've started learning all this stuff from. I paid him. Well, he's teaching me all the stuff about the law for free. And then he said, Ben, if you want to learn OID and learn how to do it properly, bear in mind there's very, very few people that actually do this shit properly.
Did he tell you that he did that, or did he
No,
show
bro,
you that?
I sat down and he showed me. I've seen checks come in from the IRS, and I'm
All
like,
right,
what the fuck? And then he explained it from start to finish, and I'm like, okay, it makes
all right,
sense.
all
But
right.
however, that's only for getting back money that you've spent, and like you said, you have to have an EIN number. So I called up IRS, and they said, "What's the entity name?" I said them my full name. I gave them the name of
Yeah, you
the
got to be
legal
an
fiction,
entity. You gave
and they
him
let
what
me
now?
through. They gave me the EIN. Then I got the documents, all of the. I got a 1099A, 1099 OID,
Hey, I
and
don't want to talk about 1099As in here because I
but
don't even want to push my people to do that shit because
yeah, but
they just need to,
exactly. I
yeah.
hear that. I hear that, man. I hear that. We'll leave it then.
I know people go to jail for OIDs and shit, and I don't want my people talking about. I told them nothing about going to jail and doing no shit. I don't want my name coming back in it. So you
No,
want to
I
talk to
hear
them?
that. I
If you
hear
want to
that.
talk to them personally about it, y'all talk inbox each other. Yeah, I don't want to teach my people nothing about no 1099As and OIDs because I know for a fact I know somebody in prison right now over this shit. So.
I got a question. What about repossessions and stuff like that, like repossessions or total lost cars? How do we get that stuff like taken care of off our credit? Is it just like another discharging that debt?
Basically, it's an offset. They send you a 1099C. Now,
No.
1099C on the other hand, guys, is perfectly legal.
That's the one.
What if we didn't
So
get one?
they supposed to send you a 1099C if they repo your car and sell it. They told you they sold it, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. If they told you they sold it, they're supposed to send you a 1099C. And the 1099C goes uh on your taxes as the income.
How can I go back into like finding it out? Like where to
Well,
look at that?
call them and tell them to send you the information on it.
Okay. And I just called was that the financing company that was in charge of it?
Yeah, the finance company. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
No problem. Now he just asked me. I just invited him. He told me, "Hey guys, I recorded the call. So if anybody want to go back and listen to it, I don't think I got the first half of it, but I got a large amount of it. So that's for everybody that didn't join. But I'm about to go eat, and I'm gonna do another video call this evening if y'all would like me to. So I need to know now, y'all want me to do another one this evening?
Of course.
All
Of
right,
course.
all right,
Why not?
all right. Well, I'm gonna do another
Thank
one
you
this
very
evening,
much,
and you
bro.
guys have a no problem, Mr. Ben. Y'all have a blessed and wonderful day.
You too, thank you.
And you.
You
Bye,
too,
everyone.
bro.
Thank you.
All
No
right,
problem.
check.
All right.